All hail the Zebra Nation. Welcome back to my playthrough of Earth Defense Force 4.1. Today we'll be recording Mission 6, and this will be the 6th episode. I'm also going to be playing as a ranger, which I'll be doing for the duration of my playthrough. Alright, let's see the mission.
Select a mission.
Underground cave. A giant insect nest has spread out under the city. We cannot allow it to remain intact. We must begin infiltrating their burrows. Move out immediately and report to the local ranger team for further instructions. Alright, so this is going to be mostly giant ants and maybe some of the jumping spiders, so I'm going to stick with my automatic rifle and my grenade launcher, and let's bust some bugs.
Select a deploying.
Turn on your helmet lights.
Ooh, spooky.
The underground entrance is supposed to be in this mall.
If we leave the giant insects alone,
I actually really do enjoy these underground missions. They're pretty fun.
we have to wipe them out before that happens. All units,
They add a layer of isolation and even a little bit of scariness that's not present in like the city maps in the game or like on the pastures and stuff. It's very tight down here, very claustrophobic.
Yes, sir!
A little bit spookier. Ants just busting up out the ground like that.
Get him! Understood! The underground entrance should be up ahead. Let's go. Yes, sir!
It's always important to pick up these weapons, especially the armor, which are the red drops, and the weapons, which are the green drops, because that's how you increase your health points and, the different weapons you can choose in your loadout. No, not all weapons are great. Like the other day I got firecrackers, and that's exactly what they are. They're firecrackers. So I can throw firecrackers at bugs. Boom! Get some! EDF! Sorry if I go a bit quiet at times. I tend to focus when I'm shooting giant ants. As threatening as they are.
we thought we were getting rid of them, but they were increasing. The earth is contaminated.
Also, these first aid kits, like especially when you're leading a squad, they're pretty important because they'll heal like your squad members, which is pretty nice.
Possible to destroy them. If we don't do it now, mankind will be destroyed.
But yeah, as you've probably seen when I was looking at my mission list, is I'm a bit further ahead in the game, so my gear, which is to say my weapons and my hit points, are pretty advanced for this level. Though even on level, the game doesn't actually start getting what the fuck hard till like the 20th levels, 21 and stuff. Like almost the minute they introduce the Hector enemies, which are giant robots, and those things are they're a terror to drop, especially when they're throwing like 20 at you. But as for these giant ants, even if I just had all my default equipment and lowered my health all the way back down, it's just not that much of a challenge. Now when they introduce like the crimson ants, those things are a nightmare. They take almost a full clip of the default rifle to drop. And ooh, I was in a mission once where all the soldiers around me died, and suddenly I'm finding myself swarmed by seriously like 50 or 60 of the crimson ants, and it was a nightmare.
Something happens to me. Let my family know. Tell them I was brave. I'll annihilate
I mentioned it last episode, but I really absolutely do love
There's too many. We can't kill them all.
the constant background chatter. Just makes the game so much livelier. And here come the jumping spiders, which I actually think are kind of cute.
The number of giant insects is
Hi, jumping spiders. I'm sorry I got to kill you.
Save him! What is this? More and more casualties.
Let's use a grenade launcher for a little bit of fun. Change of pace. Well, the grenade launcher is one of those weapons where I tend to fire it constantly, and then I'll hit like a little bit of debris in front of me and explode myself. I will say this, I do like this level because it's one of the longer ones. Like especially because, you know, the helper guys are not, your fellow soldiers are not very much of a help. All they really do is just chill out and whatever.
What the hell did we prepare for? What did I? There is no room for defeat. It's a fight we
So,
must win.
the normal first aid drops are the little white ones, and they'll heal like a small portion. These yellow ones are like first aid kits, and they'll heal quite a bit, which is good, like especially if you're leading a squad, you know? But actually not a whole lot to talk about this episode. Which is why I'm kind of just making small talk.
That's how we're in trouble. Don't go this way. Are there any Stay calm.
Like, especially because, and this is probably something I should stop because it's not very exciting, I'm a little bit more focused on picking up item drops instead of actually getting on with the mission. Which, that's because that's what I do when I'm solo, but it's not very exciting for recording. So it's probably a habit I should break. But I think this is the first level with the jumping spiders, and they're not as bad as, like, the ones that sit up in the webs. Because, like, the ones that sit up in the webs, they'll throw a web at you and drag you halfway across the board up into their web, and you're trying to find them and shoot at them the whole time. These guys, like, they hit you with the web, and it does a little bit of damage, and that's about it. So, I'd actually say these guys are probably easier than even the ants. Here's the one part that's not this fun about this level is because there's always one little spider hiding way off in the distance right here.
Artillery unit dispatching as requested. Self-propelled howitzer and
And I think that's the end of the level.
this way. Once they arrive, you can get fire support.
The fight starts now.
The fight starts now. EDF! Alright guys, this has been Mission 6. Take care and be safe.